trigonometry application. The best thing you can do for yourself early on is draw a diagram and then fill in the diagram with as much information as you can from the starting paragraph. So let's do that. I'm going to draw a triangle to this plane from the level of the laser beam. Now I'm looking for H. We'll call that the hypotenuse right here. That's the line of sight distance from the laser gun to the plane. I'm given, well, let's see, I'm given an angle of elevation, 3.2 degrees, and I'm given the height of the aircraft above the water, which is, let's see, 82 meters, and the height of the laser beam above the water, which is 14 meters. And I have found that almost all the time, if you're getting this problem wrong, it is a mistake in the setup of one of these numbers. Now, before we can get moving with the solution, we know we have to have the missing side of that triangle, y. I know nothing about the x distance from the gun to the plane, but I do know the y distance from the gun to the plane, which is just the difference of these two heights, 18 minus 42. So the plane is 68 meters above the height of the laser beam. And now let's work on filling in the rest of this triangle, or as much as I need to, using SOH-CAH-TOA. SOH-CAH-TOA says if you have a right triangle with another angle and another side, you can find anything you need in that triangle, as long as you know which of these operations to use. Now I have the opposite right here, the hypotenuse and an angle, so which trig function relates opposite and hypotenuse? Remember, that's SO for SOH-CAH-TOA. So let's set up our equation. That's going to be sine of 3.2 degrees equals opposite, which is y, over h. Now I already know what y is. We figured that out. That was 68 meters. So we have 68 over h. Now you can't solve this equation because you have this h value on the bottom of a fraction. So let's move that out. We're going to move this over here and say h sine of 3.2 degrees equals 68 meters. And then divide both sides by sine of 3.2. And you'll have h equals 68 over sine of 3.2 degrees. Now that's not the answer you're going to put into the answer box for this question in the computer, but it is what you need to put into your calculator. So plug that into your calculator. Make sure you're in degrees, because if you are in radians, this is not going to end so well. Find your answer to a decimal. Use a few significant figures, right? Don't just put one significant figure. You want to have a decimal with a few numbers after that, and then pop that into your answer box.